lipstick smudged, but still perfectly veiled. Awesome. Her mother's voice boomed in her head. Sit up straight, Olivia. Pride starts with posture. Her response to that maternal nag, slump a few inches forward over the bar. Recovering her pride after today's events would require Liv to be stretched spine-taut on a medieval torture rack. 5 minutes ago, she had climbed onto the bar stool, arranged her Vera Wang gown's cream puff layers, and delivered a brook-no-bullshit glare. The bartender took one look and knew better than to refuse her. Who would refuse the bride on the happiest day of her life? Especially one who had just witnessed the rapidly deflating cock of the groom, mere moments after it had been wedged between the maid of honor's over-tanned thighs. In response to her demand for oblivion, 5 shot glasses were now lined up like good little soldiers on the bar, one for each year she had wasted on Peter Whitehouse, the not-so-honorable congressman from Texas. She picked up the first and raised it high, like she was checking the color of a fine wine, instead of contemplating how exactly she should dedicate this particular shot of Van Winkle Special Reserve. "To freedom!" She spoke to no one in particular, and knocked the bourbon back. The smoky burn scored her throat and pooled with the acid in her stomach. No doubt she'd be getting reacquainted with that shot later. What else deserved a toast? Who else? Certainly not her bridesmaids, led by that rat-faced traitorous wench Jess. Not a single one of them had stayed with her. Stung by their malevolent glee, Liv had sent them away immediately after the wedding that never was. In their eyes, she saw exactly what they were thinking. My shit don't stink, Olivia Kane sure is one ugly crier, and squirrel! Now to repurpose these bridesmaid gowns for the glitzy Houston wedding season. Usually, this was Liv's favorite time of the year. As the owner of Let's Party, the premier event planning firm in Houston, she was a veritable fixture on the scene. Everyone wanted her services, her élan, her joie de vivre. An Olivia Kane wedding was an event with a capital E, so naturally her own would be remembered as the most spectacular bash of the year. Oh, there'd be no doubt about that. Who knew her brother, Mr. Uptight Nerd, had such a clean right hook? Well, her former fiancé Peter was now in possession of that salient fact. So sweet of Brody to make Peter aware of his opinion in such a heroic way. Unlike Flynn Cross, her brother's best friend, business partner, and the man who had once filled Livia's fevered teenage dreams, that blue-eyed devil had stood by with a sardonic raise of his eyebrow that said it all. Slow clap for you, Liv. She hadn't even invited him. Somehow, the miscreant sheep-fucker had wangled an invitation as Jess's +1. That's right, the maid of honor, her so-called friend, the woman whose basketball-leathered thighs had been wrapped around Liv's former fiancé's hate handles. Flynn hadn't seemed all that upset that his date was caught in flagrante with the groom. Knowing him, he probably had an arrangement with Jess to bang as many guests as possible before they hooked back up for the first dance. Second shot down. Glass overturned. Evil eye thrown at the judgy bartender. How dare he? It was his job to accept drunken misery in all its misshapen, mascara-streaked, perfectly veiled forms. Damn, she'd forgotten to toast before that shot. To Jess's heifer thighs, she shouted at the empty glass, drawing a few offhand looks from the other customers. Screw them. This was her wedding party, and she was the fucking bride. Her dirty scowl garnered her additional expressions of disgust mixed with pity, except for one. Well, hello there, hottie with the $1 million smile. Unlike the rest of the whispering bard patrons, this sandy-haired cutie pie was undoubtedly enjoying her efforts to strut through her misery while sitting down. So her wedding day sucked, but the wedding night was looking up. She raised her empty glass in his direction, not ready to waste precious bourbon on him just yet. He tipped his Stetson back to her, promising. She turned back to her only friends, the shots she had yet to down. They'd see her right. A one-night stand. She'd never had one before. She'd never dared. The daughter of Texas Senator Broderick Kane II and Houston's